the distinction here between those three different types of complexities is connected to the three phases of science. So objective complexity is connected to the first phase of science, which deals primarily with observer-independent data. In other words, all observers agree with regard to their observations. And for example, these are observations that are primarily connected to physical sciences and engineering. Physical science like physics, chemistry, biology. These are sciences that are connected to observer-independent data, and they have been designed to accommodate this observer-independent attribute. Subjective complexity is the type of complexity that relates to the second phase science. Second phase science, we have observer-dependent data, namely the observer influences the observation. And these are sciences like psychology, medical science, even law and journalism. Journalism somehow, these are the type of disciplines that belong to subjective complexity. And I forgot to mention that the objective complexity does not include any action. There is no action, fully excludes actions in the objective complexity. The subjective complexity that is observer-dependent includes partially actions to improve the situation. And it's second phase science. And I mentioned psychology and medical science, maybe anthropology. Now we go to the intersubjective complexity. In the intersubjective complexity, we have observations that are interdependent. They are interdependent and they include fully the actions to improve the situation. And this is where we need to engage stakeholders in order to get a consensus, and this relates to the third order cybernetics that I mentioned before, namely we have observers observing the observations of other observers. That's where intersubjectivity comes in, and that's where we have the actions are fully included, and that's where we also have the need to engage people in deliberations, in structured deliberations to construct high-quality observations. Now, when we have a collab, and that's why we call it situational complexity, we bring people and they bring all of these three types to the table. When we have a collab, all those three types overlap. They actually converge, merge, and they create a phenomenon of situational complexity because they overlap and they interact. And this is why we need the situation room, because without the situation room, it's impossible to address this emergence, this situation-sensitive emergence responsibly. And this is why it's unfortunate that we claim we can deal with the complexity of the contemporary complexity without enabling people to work in environments that are designed, such as the Demosophia room that we promote, or the Demoscopio capability, in order to enable people to enter these environments and be capable to have a responsible deliberation to address the phenomenon of situational complexity, which emerges from the convergence of objective, subjective, and intersubjective, which is first phase science, second phase science, and third phase science together in a situation room.